happy. Yeehaw! Diggity dog. Friends and lovers, welcome to the 2021 A Merry Reference Christmas special in the For Your Reference podcast. I'm your host, Katie.
And OT.
Welcome, all of the Yuletide, welcome. Friends and lovers, for those of you that are new to our podcast, welcome. This is the third time we are doing it, and it's very exciting. For those of you that have listened to our review episodes throughout the year, we don't actually give a numerical value to how we feel about a film or a TV show. And this is the time that we do it. Grab a beverage, friends and lovers, grab a snack, because it's going to be a delicious time. OT was very gracious last year, giving the most amount of 10s. So it'll be very exciting to see how we go this year. Also, shout out to our patrons that had an opportunity to contribute to the ratings on everything that we've covered throughout the year. Are you ready, OT?
As I'll ever be.
Just like the shining angel on top of the tree.
Ha! We'll see about that.
Right? Speaking of seeing about that, perhaps the genesis, if you'll pardon the pun, of our biblical coverings, we actually covered an episode before New Year's of 2021. So we're going to rate it. And yes, friends and lovers, it is Prince of Egypt.
Oh, wow.
Are you going to start us off in biblical proportions, OT?
I sure will. My childhood, man. It's just one of those things that even rewatching it, I was like, yeah, I remember. I fondly remember it, and it stands up. To me, it's still a solid 8.
Ooh, that is high.
It is.
Even with Moses from a privileged position.
If we look at that in every lens of life, or whatever fucked up movie has already been made, we'll not enjoy anything. So strip that back, and it is what it is.
Right.
Still an 8.
All right, friends and lovers, let's see if OT rates anything lower than Prince of Egypt. That'll be very interesting. Okay, let's move on into an episode, and I would say one of my most favorite recordings, Bong Joon-ho's Parasite. Also, cute note, friends and lovers, you will hear later on that we released Okja, which was released at the same time for patrons as an early release. And we also exclusively on Patreon covered The Host. So that's a baby degustation. But let's get into Parasite. We went as part of the Sydney Film Festival to watch it. So we got a very beautiful experience. Yeah. I won't go too much into it because I'll get mad like our recording, because OT needs to appreciate it more. But what did you rate the ever eternal new classic, embrace the 1-inch Bong Joon-ho Parasite?
Same as in the recording, had some qualms, but to me, those don't stand up to how I'd rate it right now, and it's a 9.
So it's only one better than Prince of Egypt. Fuck off. Fuck off.
Context, mate.
Well, I don't need context because this was fucking great. A 10! The first 10 of the Christmas special.
Wow.
Ooh-hoo-hoo. Nasty, beautiful, wonderful world of Bong Joon-ho. Let's move into another on our bosom in the For Your Reference household, the TV Netflix series Alice in Borderland.
I think of one of the best TV shows we've done this year.
Yep.
And to me, it's nothing but a 10.
10! Ooh!
Bring it in.
I still don't forgive you for Parasite, but it's okay. Ooh, yes. And we will get to Squid Game because we have covered it. But I will cherish this moment, OT.
Yeah, because...
And it's our first 10 together.
To me, earlier in the year, I thought it'll be a 9, maybe, highest 9.5. But after watching Squid Game, I realized the effort and the finesse that had to be put in to elevate Alice in Borderland to what it was. And that's not a mean feat. So, a 10.
A 10, a 10, a 10. Okay, spicy, muy caliente. let's move on all the way to Germany. We have Katie, Oti, Tony, Hamadi in 4 blocks.
Oh, we love our Tony Hamadi. We love the. I at least appreciated the ending, and I will give it a 9.
10.
Wow.
Friends and lovers, for those that are new, OT the Edgelord, who doesn't allow himself to completion. You know what? I'm not even going to get into it because I loved 4 blocks and it also won a Splooshies Award, friends and lovers. Go and check out our awards episode and also look forward to our upcoming awards episode in February. Closing out January on January 26th, which is a key date in Australia, we covered our very first, by the way, set, written, directed in Australia, also about First Nations, Mystery Road.
Yeah, it's wild. I think hearing about the background of everything, I really didn't realize that at all. Didn't know the culture, didn't know anything about the people at all. And once I learned more, I appreciated Mystery Road so much more. It's amazing. And for me, it's nothing short but a 10. It's a must watch for everyone. Everyone. It's one of the best series out there. And a movie.
Nice. Friends and lovers, Mystery Road is a beautiful, brilliant series. It's available on Acorn in the US. It's available on BBC in the UK. Watch it, watch it, watch it. Obviously available ABC iView in Australia. The new season is coming up soon.
Nice.
It is great. It is beautiful, and it is a full circle in the Venn diagram of diversity, representation, allowing people to write their own stories, as well as fucking quality.
No one can tell your story better than yourself.
Mwah.
100, man.
Beautiful, lovely, amazing world we live in. Speaking of a beautiful, wonderful, amazing world we live in February of 2019, we launched the For Your Reference podcast.
We did.
And in the month of February, we cover a director's filmography called The Reference Degustation because we're wankers. And this year we covered Taika Waititi with some varying degrees of enjoyment.
Yeah. You want to go fast?
Oh, well, we covered Thor because it was the most accessible Taika. And we're going to rate all of the Thor films. So let's just go back to back. So you go first, Thor.
I give it a 6.
5.
Okay.
It was a bit dry.
Yeah.
Okay, Thor: The Dark World.
I give it a 4.
You don't sound sure, did you?
I give it a 4.
Okay,
It's just painful to say.
Okay. Before you go into Thor Ragnarok, we have our first patron rating, OT.
Oh.
Okay, so you know how this goes. I'm going to read the description and then you can guess what their rating is.
All right.
So this is our pal Griff. Hello, Griff. And he says, you can tell Chris really enjoyed making this, and Hulk is a blast too. The bridge fight scene to Led Zeppelin is surely a top 5 MCU moment.
Ooh, top 5. I think he gave it a 9.
A 10.
Whoa. Okay.
Edgelord, population OT only. What did you rate Ragnarok?
I give it an 8.
I gave it a 7.
Mm.
All right. Okay, cool. The next episode was, I would say, the film to penetrate my heart chambers this year. And it continues to have an impact on me to this day. Boy,
I know you loved it. And it was really, really heartwarming. I give it a 9.
I gave it a 10.
Yeah, I could guess that.
I see how this pattern is going. I understand coincidences like Otto from Riders of Justice.
Wow. All right. But it was a really good movie. 9 is not a bad score.
9 is not a bad score. And I should have known better. I should have known this is how it was going to go. That's a shame on me, OT. Well, shame on Taika. The next film that we covered was Jojo Rabbit.
I had qualms with this. But with hindsight and all, I decided to give it a 7.
Whoa.
It surprised me as well.
The OT in the recording and the OT in the Christmas special, ne'er the twain shall meet. Okay. Because I'm brave, I gave Jojo Rabbit a 4.
Okay.
It wasn't my thing, but also millions of people suffered and a joke is being made of it. I can't speak to it. I just don't feel like it's necessary. There are a lot of things that can be joked about, but I just kind of feel like it should have been left alone, personally. That's all. Rounding out, we're just going to very naturally, anything that warms my heart cockles will help me move into this very easily, and that's Sam Neill. Fucking love Sam Neill. Julian Dennison, of course. I love seeing Julian Dennison in Australian ads, just randomly, for no reason. Great talent, beautiful insular film. What did you rate Hunt for the Wilder People?
I give it an 8.
You gave it an 8. Okay.
Yeah, it was the talk of the office. Everyone recommended it, and I was not disappointed. It was a good movie. We watched it several times, but yeah.
Pop quiz, OT asshole. If you don't get this right, I'm going to add 1 to your score. What does scucks mean?
Bloody hell. Shit, I can't remember.
Well, there you go. OT gives it a 9, friends and lovers. I'm as unfair as the Game Masters in Squid Game. Okay, I gave it a 9.
Okay.
You're not surprised I didn't give it a 10?
No, I knew Boy would definitely be a 10 for you. Everything else was pretty much fair game.
Okay. All right. We finished the month of February off with the second annual Splooshies Awards.
Amazing time.
Yeah. Shout outs to all of the winners across the Splooshies Awards, including Pussy Valley. Guess what, OT?
Yep.
We have our first addendum for something we covered previously, but not in the current year.
Oh.
Shout outs to Ben from Filmbusters. He in particular learned a lesson that bullying works, because on our main podcast we kept telling him to watch Pussy Valley, and he did, OT.
And he loves it?
He loves it. This is what he has to say, and you can guess his rating. It sucks that Pussy Valley wasn't an episode you did this year, because I have got shit to say. I loved it.
Amazing.
What do you think Ben gave it?
I think he gave it a 9.
A 10. A 10.
Wow.
Yeah. Friends and lovers. That is a great example of a wholly fulfilled character arc.
Yeah.
From refusing to watch a show with the word pussy in it to giving it a 10 on our Christmas special. Wow. Well, that wrapped up the second year of podcasting, and March introduced our third year. And the first episode, we don't wane in quality, friends and lovers. The first episode that we covered in our third year of the 4-Year Reference podcast was Judas and the Black Messiah.
We love our Judas and the Messiah.
Ooh.
It's one of the best movies we've watched this year. And for that, I gave it a 10.
Oh, friends and lovers, we do call OT the accountant. We do talk about his black tax, and we see it here now.
But no tax, no nothing. This is just purely out of my enjoyment in watching the movie, their performances. Daniel Kaluuya, Lakeith, they did amazing in this.
They did. No, I agree. However, I did have qualms, so I gave it a 9.
Oh, I saw that coming as well.
Yeah. Friends and lovers, watch out for OT in the sequel of Judas and the Kenyan Messiah.
The best Messiah you'll ever know.
Speaking of in need of a Messiah, the next episode that we covered, or at least we released, was Okja.
I was gonna rate this like a 6, and then I felt really sorry because the first part of the movie I really enjoyed, and that kid alone deserves nothing short but an 8.
Whoa.
And that's what I gave it. Solid 8.
Whoa.
Just for the first part alone.
Okay. All right. I stayed at 6.
Before the nonsense, Glennie Hall and Swinton came in to ruin the whole movie.
Yeah. But I'm starting to realize that when the setup is 10 out of 10 and it wavers drastically, I get really pissed off.
Yeah.
So for that, that's the reason why we gave it a 6.
Well, I give it an 8, but yeah.
I'll get you. I'll get you one day, OT. All right. The next episode is another patron rating.
Is it? Mm-hmm.
Yes. And you are going to love it because the next episode was the only recognized BBC miniseries, Pride and Prejudice. Not any other iteration. As much as we love Matthew Macfadyen, as much as we love Matthew Rhys.
Yeah, and as much as we love the rendition of Pride and Prejudice Atlanta, those don't make the cut because Katie said so.
No, because my Pussy Valley says so. All right, so we have a patron review. I don't think we should venture into it. Thoughts?
Ooh, what does it say?
Okay, this is my previous bestie, Elaine from Angus IT.
Previous bestie, all right?
My previous bestie, never to be repeated again. And she says, the fact that they did seasons versus a movie, I think, sips decaf low-fat whipped cappuccino, really enriches the narrative of the story. Lizzie Bennett is a savage, and I think this is the best version of her character out there. 2007, Lizzie needed a good slap and a mojito in the hopes that she would gain some sort of personality. I'm not giving it a full 10 because Matthew Macfadyen is a better Darcy.
Whoa. Tumblr, eh?
Yeah, I said it, and I'm not ashamed. The hair, way more on point. The awkwardness, much more endearing. Do I wish the 2007 movie had included the pond scene? Yes. Yes, I do. So I'll give Firth that.
The pond scene, sorry? I've watched this with you. I don't recall any pond scene in there.
POND.
Oh, okay.
But to many demographics, it pretty much constitutes porn.
All right.
Referencing 30 Rock with Liz Lemon when she was trying to adopt a kid, she had to hide Colin Firth movies so it wouldn't get mistaken as erotica. Thank you for that reprieve, OT, but I will continue. Hashtag fake Darcy's are hotter. Hashtag Matthew Macbadian.
Ooh.
In brackets, KT, please don't kill me. I love you. No lie, I'm moderately scared. You should be fucking scared.
Wow.
What do you think Elaine rated the miniseries?
I think she gave it a 9.
She did. And it was 100% sharpshooted on my heart. That fucking hurts, man.
Wow.
You can't give something a 9 and then write all of that shit. I still feel it.
Well, you won't like me either because I give it an 8.
Oh. Do I get any sort of exhale in these 2 years? No?
No.
Well, you can fuck right off because I gave it a 10. 10, 10, 10. And using my abacus, it's going to be a 10 average, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Ooh. OT. The next episode is probably enough to cheer me up. The White Tiger. And pull up your bookmark, friends and lovers. I read the book since recording the episode, and I kind of feel the same way that I did about the film, but I would love to discuss it unless we're talking to Elaine from Angus IT. Everyone else, hit up my DMs.
We love the movie. We had issues with it. I think once you read the book and you told me about it, some things didn't make sense, but at the end of it, it wasn't enough for me to give it anything higher than an 8.
Okay. I love films that offer a dialogue. So not necessarily perfect, but I love the dialogue, although I couldn't give it more than an 8.
Oh, that's
more than
fair.
you thought it deserved?
No, I give it an 8 as well. I just thought you'd be harsher on it.
Friends and lovers, I guess while we're at this juncture, if you have watched The White Tiger, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there is a scene near the end of the film where it feels like they're going to break into a Bollywood dance. Sound off. I would personally love to know, without saying anything else, what you thought about that particular shot. But let's move on, OT.
Lean in is all I say.
Lean in and sploosh at our altar, friends and lovers, because the next episode we are covering racist ass Melly Gibby's The Passion of the Christ. So we were eating around the edges with Prince of Egypt, and we went straight at we even also did Judas and the Black Messiah, I guess, which is adjacent. And then we went for the prodigal jugular.
We did.
How did you rate The Passion of the Christ?
I give it a 7.
Whoa, okay.
What did you give it?
I thought your Catholic tax would have made you rate more.
More? No. I even battled giving it a 7, but at the end of the day, I knew what it was. It's still the same movie I watched back in the day. Well, back in the day, it wasn't that long ago, but yeah, 7.
Okay, I gave it a 6.
Ooh, I thought you'd give it like a 1 or something.
I am but a fair judge.
Okay.
Emphasis on the judge. Let's move on. In the month of April, our first Idris on a Cowboy iteration, if you're nasty. We covered Concrete Cowboy. Also Method Man. Shout out to Method Man. What did you rate? Well, we can talk about what we rate Method Man, but what did you rate Concrete Cowboy?
I'll give it a 7.
Same.
Oh.
Same. I also have the book on my reading list. And to know that this is like real life, it's not just a concept that is super key for a movie. Yeah. Do you have anything else to say?
No, there are just issues in the movie. I think I just nudged it towards a 7. Otherwise, I think it would have been lower. But a 7 is fair.
Okay, a 7 is fair. Absolutely. Speaking of instances where OT wasn't fair, we're moving into also our DMX tribute episode, Belly.
Oh.
However do you want me?
I love the trip back down memory lane with Hype Williams and all.
However do you need me?
It started brilliant. I think one of the best movie starts we've seen ever.
One of the best opening scenes in the cinematic tapestry ever.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant, which makes sense because
Hype Williams.
As OT has a reference, Hype Williams, lots of music videos.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But fundamentally, I had qualms with the movie. And at the end of it, it was just not preaching to me. And I gave it a 7. It could have been higher, had so much potential. And just didn't quite get there for me.
What happened to that black tax, OT?
I did. I added it on here.
Okay. Well, also double shout out on a cowboy to Method Man, because Method Man was also in Belly. Mm-hmm. Also, so this was a tribute to DMX, and also Ava DuVernay tweeted that Belly is one of her most favorite films from a cinematography point of view, but just in general, and that's why we decided to cover it on the podcast. And I loved the themes it introduced. I know the Nazisms definitely got in the way, but I just loved, especially Otto. And, we talk a lot about, personal gain over the good of your people. And I really enjoyed that conflict, which OT would say was a non-conflict.
Nah, fuck Otto. He's the problem.
Well, he can fuck me because I gave it 8.5.
It'll probably be out here soon, so watch out.
Don't threaten me, OT, with a good time. The next episode we covered in April was Secret Society.
A hidden gem.
Yeah, it has no other relation to the film Upgrade, Lee Winnell's Upgrade, aside from the fact that we were just randomly scrolling and we found it and we had such a great time. Yeah.
It's sometimes good to just go in cold. And I loved it. I loved being surprised by it. It's a 7 for me.
Okay, I gave it an 8.
Nice.
I really love the film. Unfortunately, the twist is a spoiler, and I am going to mention it here only because we've covered it already. The reason why I couldn't give it higher than an 8, I loved everything about the film, However, I'm starting to understand why Dan Levy chose the penmanship that he did with Schitt's Creek, because I kind of just want to see like trans queer characters without all the fucking trauma. And we saw a lot of that in particular in Secret Society. And I also don't want trans characters to be part of the twist. Is that okay? Can I ask for more in the 2020s, OT, or not?
No, you can't.
Apparently not. Apparently, especially if you watch any, I don't know why any companies would spend money on HR videos when you can just purchase the first 11 minutes of The Departed.
Yeah.
That will tell you all of the wrong things you should and shouldn't say in and out of the workplace, friends and lovers. But yeah, I gave Secret Society an 8 and I absolutely loved it.
Nice.
I would say based on the films we were covering, we needed some levity, OT. What do you think?
Oh, we did. We really did.
And we found it in the most campiest, most beautiful of ways. We tackled, leading up to the recent release, Mortal Kombat! We have another patron rating, OT. And this is from Brent at Home Video Hustle.
Ooh.
Hustle, motherfucking hustle. Shout outs to Brent. So, he said, one of my favorite movies growing up and always puts me in a good mood when I watch it. I quote lines from it all the time and have owned it in damn near every video format available.
Oh.
Yeah, what do you think Brent rated it?
Oh, I think he gave it 10.
10, yes, he gave it a 10.
Yeah,
Very strong offering.
great minds, because I give it a 10.
No, you did not.
I did.
Wow, I gave it a 9.
Because sitting back and looking through, nostalgia plays a big part.
Yep.
But wow, I think just rewatching it at the time in the year. In this year,
We needed it.
Yeah, it was a well-needed reprieve, and it was just fucking amazing. It was really, really good. Nothing but a 10.
I liken it to Jason X. Like, it's stupid, and I found myself loving it as it continued to play. And that's absolutely how I felt. I had a very interesting love affair with Raiden throughout all of these films. And I think perhaps the 1995 Raiden is my favorite.
Yeah.
I gave Mortal Kombat 1995 a 9.
Nice.
Let's move on to Annihilation. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
And this is where I think there needs to be a balance.
Okay.
When I watched it as a kid, I loved it. Had animality, had Nighthawk. I fucking loved all that.
Uh-huh.
And then rewatching it now, I was like holding my head wondering what the fuck.
Yeah.
You could tell there was way significant budget, something that I couldn't even tell back then. I just enjoyed it. I was like, woohoo, bring it on.
Something was amiss.
Yeah. Man, I wish that I remembered it the same way I did.
Yep.
And it pains me to give it a 5 now.
Oh, I also gave it a 5.
Yeah, it's really not good.
It's very not good. Yeah, definitely. Let's move on to what we agreed in the recording was the best offering out of these films, and it's Scorpion's Revenge.
I give it a 9.
I gave it a 9 too, but are you saying that you give, because nostalgia, 1995 a 10, and then you gave this arguably better in every instance a 9?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because OT ratings, man.
Go off, Nostalgia King. Oh, okay. Let's get into the 2021 Mortal Kombat. We have another patron rating, OT.
Oh.
This is Rob from Smoke and Mirrors, and he says, low on character development, high on world building. This movie scratched the MK itch that had been left there since MK Annihilation. If you haven't watched Scorpion's Revenge, that's on you, Rob. But anyway. While I didn't agree with the verdict from our gracious hosts, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie and felt it was a perfect setup for the inevitable sequel. Get over here! But based on inevitable sequel, Rob, fuck out of here! Because that's the point. Like,
Yeah.
we know that there are going to be sequels, but don't make us, just sit there with our hands in our pants for the last 20 minutes because you're not going to give us anything else because there's a sequel. What do you think Rob gave it?
I think he gave it a 9.
He gave it a 7.
Oh, after all that, mate.
Actually, yeah, that was because if I may jump ahead of you, I also gave it a 7. And I don't have that many positive things to say about it.
Maybe I was more annoyed by it because I felt it was an opportunity to just break the mold. And it just fell with the whole same shit we've done for the past 4 movies. And I was like, you know what? I'm giving it a 6 because there was an opportunity to be better, to do better. And they just let it out. They were like, same old shit. We'll follow the things that we've been doing. They just wanted something else. And to bring some fucking new character who beats fucking Goro in an instant because those not even your beloved montages to show us him becoming strong and him knowing his powers.
Well, I was about to say, because you were mad for like weeks about the Goro thing.
Just a fucking Aquafina arrow all over again. You know?
We're coming to Shang-Chi. We're going to get to Shang-Chi. Yes.
Far out. 6.
Well, that makes sense because I think 6 is a bit low, but based on the fact that you gave the 1995 a 10, that kind of balances out with the OT, I guess. All right, so let's move into I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, I'm your OT in the alley. We are covering, Snowfall Season 4. What did you rate this wonderful, beautiful show that I always say, whenever you're talking about the greats, you should mention Snowfall. Rest in love and peace and power, John Singleton.
Amazing. I give it a 9.
A 9? Why?
I give it a 9. It could have been a 10. I enjoy the season super, super much, but there was just a nagging feeling. The whole thing.
Don't call Sissy a nagging feeling.
She is that on the way, but a whole lot more. I just didn't appreciate all that back and forth with Franklin's dad and a 9.
Welcome to OT's alter ego. I gave Snowfall Season 4 in particular, and again, I don't know who I do the recordings with because we both fucking love Season 4. Every episode, we were holding on to our cojones.
But we still had issues.
Yeah, bro.
Where do those issues
Okay, so you had no issues with Mortal Kombat 1995? You still gave it a 10? Fuck off.
I didn't have any issues with it. It was perfect. Beautiful. Mastery. the thespianism in that.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Let's just move straight along. The next film, I don't know why, every so often, friends and lovers, we're very happy staying in our niche for our American friends and lovers. And really our niche is any fucking thing. Like, as you will hear throughout this special, we cover everything all around the world, subtitled If You're Nasty. But every so often we do try and cover considered greats, considered classics, something that everyone can get in on. And that will explain why, unfortunately, we covered Fatal Attraction.
I give it a 6.
I also give it a 6. No one's answered my question. Was Michael Douglas the horny man movie guy?
I think he was the it guy back then.
Otherwise known as the horny man movie guy.
Oh, wow.
Is there anything you want to say about Fatal Attraction?
Rewatching it, just super disappointing. Deserves its score.
There is WAP and there is the general state of pussy. And if your pussy is dry, friends and lovers, that's not normal. And tap water is not a normal lubricant.
Yeah, there are 99 lubricant options. Tap water in one. Jay-Z said it fast. Listen to the man.
Thank you, James O.T. Samuel. Wow. The harder they OT, hey?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's move it. Okay, friends and lovers, we mention all the time, as much as we are film wankers, we are very much TV people.
Yup.
And the next episode we covered was the final season of the beautiful series of Vikings.
A beautiful send-off for Lagatha. I loved. I really wanted to give it a 10. I just couldn't get there. So it sits on a 9 for me.
Boo. I personally, on behalf of our Viking friends and lovers, why?
The Ivor thing, focusing so much on Hitsvik, I couldn't. I wanted to get there. I just couldn't. I really couldn't. 9 is the most I could do.
I feel betrayed.
But as I said, the whole season, though, the whole series, though, is probably a 10. So, just this season.
You know what's interesting? I don't think I would rate the whole series a 10, but this last season, I would rate a 10.
No, I wouldn't. I think season 1 is so strong. The second season is fucking even stronger.
But what you would do ain't what you're gonna do.
No, it's not.
Okay, let's move into friends and lovers. I feel like, at least, if you're like us, we have a couple of chestnuts that we keep in our pockets for a rainy day. Things that we hope and think are regarded as beautiful, wonderful morsels of entertainment. And Airplane was one of them that did not disappoint. Wow.
I truly love this movie.
Oh, I loved it so much.
From the start, you get a feeling that this is gonna be great.
Yeah.
Just by a few seconds.
Yeah.
As soon as there was that airport with a voiceover and
they were fighting.
I just knew it was gonna be amazing, and I could not see myself give this movie anything less than a 10.
10! Yes! We align again.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Obviously, cut this out if this is incorrect, but I think we've aligned 3 times, and for 3 times, they were for 10 out of 10s.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at us. Yeah, absolutely beautiful, wonderful. If you've watched Airplane, go and watch it again. If you haven't watched Airplane, watch it now. Listen to our episode. I feel like this film was great. I don't know if anyone has the balls to make this film now. I do feel like it could, even though I'm not necessarily a reboot, remake sort of gal. But tonally, it appealed to me on every fucking level.
It's just the jive talk.
Is that how you feel when I'm talking to you?
Yeah.
I speak jazz. Hey, I just want to let you know that we're all counting on you. Good luck. Ooh, we love references, as you may already know, and it definitely makes circulation, rotation in the For Your Reference household. You know what doesn't cross our mind or make any rotation at all?
What doesn't?
A Few Good Men. And we have another patron rating OT.
Ooh, all right. Let's hear it.
Okay, this is our wonderful, beautiful Julio.
Oh.
He gave his rating, and his answer was, because I can handle the truth.
Can you, though?
Apparently. What do you think he rated it?
I think he gave it a 9.
He did give it a 9.
Yep. I thought as much. Rewatching this, I love this movie. Watched it earlier.
Love is a strong word.
Yeah, I watched this earlier and I loved this movie growing up. And I think rewatching it with you.
Oh, so I'm the part of the equation that's
I think
the
there
problem.
was something. It just felt onerous. And
like your whole lifetime in this relationship or the film?
the whole Tom Cruise thing that he wasn't even. Nah, I just couldn't. I couldn't. Yeah. It's a 6. It's a 6.
How wild! I rated it higher than you.
What did you give it?
6.5. But still, I still rated it. Okay. Oh. Well, because it's not a terrible film. I just don't like the visual image that screenwriters and cinephiles are all in a room circle jerking. And that's the feeling I felt watching this film.
Snarky Sorkin.
Snarky Sorkin. We don't kink shame, but I do walk past the Snarky Sorkin room. I do not enter it. Let's move into OT. The film Alive. I read Eduardo's book, which I did mention in the podcast episode, but I just need to remind you motherfuckers that I do read books.
I really tried to be understanding, knowing that, you know, this was true, this happened.
Yep. But
it's a 7 movie, and I think I was super generous to give it that score. It just has so many issues.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. But I did give it a 9. I did give it a 9. Only from the point of view that, you know, we're currently watching Leather Jackets.
Yellow Jackets.
Melanie Lynskey.
Yellow Jackets.
Yes. Did I call it leather?
You call it Leather Jackets, but you know what? We love Leather Jackets, don't we?
Thank you. I love being corrected by a man. We are currently watching Yellow Jackets.
It's the only way to be corrected, mate.
And interrupted. I love being corrected and interrupted by a man. Thank you so much for reminding me of your presence, sir. We are watching Yellow Jackets at the moment, and I know we live in an age of true crime to the point where it feels morose, but I do feel like there needs to be some line drawn in the sand, especially when it comes to cannibalism. Using cannibalism as an entertainment subject feels disgusting to me. It's like, you know, it's like a rich person wanting the wife of one of their servants. It's like, you've got enough. Like, leave it alone. There's so much you can write about. And we talked about Jojo Rabbit. Like, there's so much that you can write about. Leave cannibalism alone. That's how I feel personally. But because Alive is based on a true story and also accounts, I wanted to give it a 9. I wanted to, and I did, because I got a podcast, and that's my authority.
Good for you.
Thank you.
You're good, guy.
Ooh. It may be the death to 2021, but it is absolutely the rebirth of the For Your Reference podcast. Thank you for joining us on the first part, and hopefully you look forward to the second part. If you love a sequel, on Twitter and Instagram, we're at ForYourRefPod. Send us an email at hello@fyrpodcast.com. We're also on all of the podcasts if you like to leave a rating and review. And we'll see you very soon in part 2. Bye.